So, being someone who is very introverted and very quiet, networking is not easy, and it is extremely important and not always the easiest thing to do. And for me, what I've been able to learn is find ways that help you as an introverted individual be someone who can network, who can reach out to people, who can meet people. It takes practice, and that's the main thing. Like anything, it takes practice to be able to do this. Working in the creative field, you come across so many people that specialize in so many different things, so many people that are so specialized to the one thing they do that you're always collaborating. You're always kind of working with a team. You're always working with individuals. If it's my personal brand, I'm working with a team when it comes to reaching out to brands, working with brands. If it's me shooting real estate for some freelance stuff, I'm working with an agent to make sure I'm fulfilling their image that they're trying to go for. And then when it comes into the professional world of working in the film industry, like, you're always working with others, you're always collaborating, you're always meeting people. And as an introverted person, I found some steps that work for me that I hope can work for you. And some stuff that has worked for me is preparation. Always have a plan when you're gonna go try to network with someone or you're gonna reach out to someone. Have your talking points, have the bullet points you're gonna talk about, have that through line of what can kind of bring the introduction together, and practice your introduction. And it sounds cheesy and it sounds like a lot of work, but if you're naturally a quiet, introverted person, it takes a lot out of you. And to be able to practice that stuff is very helpful. And I'm not an expert. This is something that I try to work on every single day. And I try to at least reach out to someone every single day if it's on LinkedIn, if it's a brand I want to work with for my YouTube channel, if it's whatever. It's something that takes a lot of practice. And it's important. It is important to be able to network because networking may land you that next gig. It may land you that next brand deal. You really just never know what you're gonna land. So that takes me into my next point, and it's first impressions and how important a first impression is. No matter what kind of video you're working on, what kind of creative you're working on, and this can go outside of the creative field, but your first impression is everything because that's how people remember you. It's as simple as that. And like I said, this isn't a video I normally do, but I think it's an important thing. It's an important point that I want to get across because I struggled with it for years. I struggled for years being an introverted individual and having to be outgoing when it comes to getting the things I want. And that being brand deals, that being working with a real estate agent on a house listing, that being whatever it may be. And it takes practice with that first impression because if you're comfortable in that first impression, if you feel like you've made a good first impression, it makes the second impression, it makes the third impression a little bit easier. And it kind of breaks you away from that introverted shell you kind of are naturally in. Growing up being an introverted individual, an introverted creative, was never really a good thing. And it was something that took time for me at least to embrace. And I never really embraced it until later on in my career, simply out of confidence. And this is where the vulnerability comes in a little bit. Being someone who is quiet, who is not outgoing, who doesn't talk a lot, it comes across as someone who is mean. It comes across as someone who has a resting, I'm not gonna say the word face. It comes across as not approachable. And you kind of have to break that mold. And it's still something I'm working on to this day, but you have to break that mold and be able to find ways to be approachable to people. If you find your style joking, make jokes, be funny, be outgoing that way. Find something that works for you, that makes you comfortable and also lets you be professional, and bring them together to make yourself approachable, and make yourself approachable off of a first impression or off of a networking type of thing that might happen. Now, I've been trying to figure out steps or a list of things that can help someone do this, but at the end of the day, it sounds cliche, but it's just practice and it's trial and error. And it's failing, to be honest. I reach out to someone new every single day. If it's a brand rep, if it's whoever, if it's a real estate agent I want to work with, I reach out to someone new every day, and sometimes I hear back, sometimes I never hear back, sometimes I get ghosted after a little bit, and that's just the way it is. And it's something you have to accept and know that out of every 100 people you reach out to, there's going to be someone you're going to make the right impression to. There's going to be someone that network's going to lead to another person, that's going to lead to another person, that's going to land you sort of what you want. And when it comes to building these connections and networking, I think the hardest part is the maintaining these networks or these connections. I think that's the hardest part because it's almost like a friend from elementary school. Sometimes you just grow in a different way, you move in a different way. You're not really in contact with them anymore. And I think what differs with the networking is being able to maintain a relationship over time. And I think it's really important. It is something that out of all of these things I've been practicing over the years, it's what I'm the worst at, and it's what I'm trying to practice daily, because being someone who is introverted, being someone who is very quiet, it's extremely hard and extremely mentally and emotionally taxing to be able to break that mold and be able to reach out to people and maintain a relationship. But if you take the time to do it, if you plan out how you're going to do it, and you have those steps in place of how you're going to do this, it does make it a lot easier. What I want to round this video out is with the fact that you might be introverted and you might not be the most approachable person, but you have to find tools that make you approachable. You have to find things that are special to your personality, to your being, and make those things that stand out and make you stand out from the next person. And that's what I think is really important. And over time, you will find that. Over time, if you accept that you are an introverted and what in my opinion is an extroverted world, you find ways to make it work, and you find ways to be approachable, and you find ways to get the things you need, get the things you want, and maintain the relationships that are most important to maintain. This wasn't like a typical video I do. This isn't talking about tech, talking about filmmaking. It's about more of how to be a creative and also be an introverted person. And that's really the message I want to get across. My goal with this video is to help someone out there, someone who is young and maybe struggling with this, someone who might want help to be able to get there, and just let them know that they're not alone, that I'm 29 years old. I've been doing what I've been doing for about 8 years, and I talk to a camera for fun to get my creativity out. And it might look like I'm not introverted here, but I really am, and it's something that I've been working on for years. So hopefully that can help you out. Leave a comment down below if any of these steps are steps that you take to network, or you take to meet people, or whatever it may be. I'd like to know, and I want to talk about it in this community and create a safe space to do it. So with that, leave a comment down below. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I just had these ideas as I was driving home from work today, and I kind of wanted to get them off my chest, and here we are. Thanks for watching. Peace.